Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rongan's podcast. How are we?
Good,
All
all
good,
good.
man.
How?
Yeah, been great. I just want to mention maybe for some of our audience, I know it's been a few days since we got back, with our episode, but we're spending some productive time trying to do some homework on the big thing that evolved during the Border Gavaskar Trophy, especially the Sydney Test when our skipper Rohit Sharma chose to sit out. But we all witnessed, there's a lot of drama around it. So we thought, why not do a special mini podcast around PR and obviously the sort of impact they have, and obviously all the drama that was created around it. So what we sort of spend some time to try and dig some details. So just for our audience's benefits, obviously there's a lot been said in terms of Rohit Sharma doing that interview on day two of the Sydney Test, and then obviously it kind of blew up on social media. What we're discussing here, and obviously some of the detail we plan to unfold, it's just purely already out there on social media. All we're trying to do is just gather the detail and kind of sort of share some of our opinions. And the intention is to not to offend any player or any fans or any media outlet for that reason. It's more like three of us just getting together and share some of our opinions in terms of how things evolved and how much of an impact PR can have on an individual or a group of individuals, and obviously social media and its impact as well. So with that, let me quickly start. Punk, maybe I'll look at you, right? So one of the things we were uh, discussed on maybe during the time of the Sydney Test, right? There's a lot of tweets coming from some of the celebrities in the Indian film industry. I mean, without going into the details, obviously, they kind of came supported Rohit Sharma. And it's not the first time, right? We've seen this in the past as well, where someone offends or someone says something negative about one of our Indian cricket players. We've seen the Bollywood fraternity kind of get back and support them. So do you see this any different, or do you think there's more to this that we probably haven't witnessed?
Nah, there's going to be more to this, right? But I think so. Like with the way the screenshots, if it was like a normal, people feeling for it, like that
Hmm.
Rohit basically gave away his captaincy so that
Hmm.
somebody else could play for him, made sense. But having a peer, if the PR, it was a disaster in short, right?
Hmm.
And somewhere I feel that maybe he did not want it, but the way you just want to show that uh, Rohit was like a genuine guy, and he wanted to. They went overboard,
Hmm.
and you get the dumbest of people to do your PRs, right? If you're doing it, you should do it in a subtle way, right? See,
Yeah.
sometimes marketing and branding is important, right? But not
Hmm.
at critical juncture where uh, and the way when, if you remember, when like before the series started and when Rohit did not turn up for the first match, it was fine, and me, Amar, everybody talked about Rahul
Yeah.
opening the series, and I did tell that when Rohit
Hmm.
comes back, he's a team man, and he will give away his place to Rahul to open, and he did that. Yeah, till come the fourth test. So he gave two tests, right? The
Yeah.
Adelaide one and the Melbourne one, right?
Hmm.
To Rahul to open. So what I'm trying to tell you here is like this PR actually backfired on Rohit,
Yeah.
right? And it was a disaster.
Hmm.
And it's not only Rohit. Even Virat Kohli has his own set of PR. As far as I know, like Ravi Shastri works for uh, you know some of these PRs, like which Kohli owns, and you know
Hmm.
the links, right? So uh, then you also have like Star Sports. If you see, uh, like you see the 2021 series, yeah,
Hmm.
for Australia, the key ones, yeah, were the Melbourne one, where Ajinkya Rahane scored that century.
Yeah.
Bumrah did well in that test. Then you had the Sydney one where Pant scored, and then you had the Gaba one, right? You look at Star Sports, the way they promote Kohli for everything, where he had like a negligible role in the 2021 series. The first one, which India lost in Adelaide, 36 all out, that never gets promoted under his captaincy. So you see, it is wherever the money is, right? People are not there generally, thinking about Indian cricket. It's about like, let's promote somebody who has been, and as I've told you, right, it's a disaster, and this has happened in the last. I would say it started from this Kohli and Rohit era. I haven't seen that. There's a we all love MS, right? But there is somebody had asked him in one of the media, somewhere in the media, somebody had asked him, and he told that, like, if I'm performing, I don't need PR on the field, right?
Yeah,
and that's what I want to say. If you're performing, you don't need PRs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sachin was the prime example for us.
Yeah, obviously with Sachin, right, he's an exception, and the reason I say exception is, it's a generation thing, right? Back then, you don't have so much like social media and stuff. Obviously, there are obviously paper media and obviously TV media who would write about it, like rave about it and stuff. But there's an extent where it can end. But with social media now, your Instagram posts and all of this count, right? Anything that comes, and obviously if you have like a nice tagline, which obviously something we as a group has to work on our taglines. I'm not really good at it, but if you have like something spicy tagline, absolutely that grabs attention. And also quickly on MS Dhoni, right? So from what I've learned, the guy doesn't even carry his own mobile phone. So if for someone who doesn't even use a mobile phone in current date, I don't think social media would ever play any part in his life. But again, that's just what I've noticed. But yeah. Maybe quickly move on, Amar. Your take on what Pam just detailed. Do you agree? Is that what it is, or there's more to it, or should we just take it on the baseline, thinking it's just something they've tried to push onto the audience, but it didn't probably materialize the way it should have been.
Well, first of all, I would say what a brilliant haircut, Punk.
Yeah. Of course, yes.
So, you surely don't need PR for that. So a good haircut looks good. So you look good. Talking about this PR thing, what a distraction, right? What a distraction in this brilliant series. You don't need this.
Yes.
And what we have seen is, I don't know if Rohit Sharma is a part of this, or anyone asked him. Maybe, may not. Who knows? And also the brands who which he endorses, maybe they are behind this. Maybe his own brand. I'm not too sure. But what a distraction. Now the thing is, this has come about now, about just when he drops himself from his captaincy, and this big PR thing came, as Punk mentioned, very naively done, or I would say amateurishly done, because who put screenshots, right? If you have to do it right. I mean, even a 10-year-old can do a better job than this one. So, but anyways, the thing is, we saw, or I don't think fans, thought it was a danger to Rohit Sharma's captaincy. He was just, he would have just given up this game and came back and played another series. That's fine. But whoever thought that this was a danger to his captaincy, and all of a sudden this happens, and I don't know. I'm kind of thinking too much, or I'm reading behind the lines too much. Maybe there's something not there, but I'm reading it. But I saw this exact thing happening when this captaincy thing. They thought it was a danger to Rohit Sharma's captaincy when Hardik Pandya came in. And what happened to him? Did you see that? Oh my God!
Absolutely.
So that PR thing happened back then as well, and it worked that time. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. It's my, because this has happened again now. So of course this time this backfired. Maybe in Mumbai's captaincy's time when Hardik Pandya came back, maybe that worked very well that time. And what a destruction or in Hardik Pandya's life, to be honest. But whatever has happened now, it has backfired. It was a silly thing to do, really. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it didn't work. It didn't work at all, and it left a very bad taste. Of course, we are seeing this conversation now, that these things should not happen. But yeah, I agree with Punk that a lot has happened behind the doors, and also some of them came out we shouldn't have. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't, it just leaves the bad taste after it. So yeah.
Absolutely, and that's a very good point you made, right? Obviously, when he opted out, obviously, there's a lot of fans on both sides, and obviously, Indian fans in general who wanted India to retain BGT were like, look, Rohit's out of form. I think he shouldn't be playing this test. Not everyone's saying he should be dropped from captaincy or he should retire. Obviously, there are like, that crowd as well who obviously had their own opinion, and we respect that. But yeah, primarily it was like, even when we heard the news about like, the squad the morning. It was like, oh, good. Like, so Rohit's like such a selfless player. He's actually thought about the team, which we all kind of appreciated. Because for us, it's all about like, what Bumrah and the squad can do, and obviously, retain BGT, and that's pretty much where he was on day one. But yeah, like you mentioned, maybe someone within the PR campaign or whoever thought it was a brilliant idea. Maybe they're kind of looking for a big paycheck towards the end of the year, and hope like helping out someone like Rohit potentially might like help them out.
And was it a danger? First of all, thing, what is a danger?
Yeah.
Was that a danger to
Rohit?
Rohit?
It was never a danger. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you didn't need to do that, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
and I
like,
also want to go on, Punk, yeah.
It's also spilled over, like, over the last, like, after the BGT series and India losing, it's also spilled over, like, you see, so because Gambhir was an ex BJP MP, right, from Delhi. So you see a lot of people who support like the ruling dispensation currently, BJP, right? So you see ex-cricketers who are like more supportive towards the BJP government. They're supporting Gambhir on this.
Yeah.
And then you see Manoj Tiwari and those guys who are supporting like TMC and the other opposition parties. They're supporting Rohit on this. So, like it's really a bad taste. And like dressing room should be in this thing. The guy who leaked that Indian Express, I'm definitely like, there has been a call that it would have been Rohit and the Devendra Sharma guy or somebody has been around leaking those, so you don't leak what's happening in the dressing room, right? And this is something which I don't know what happened with Gambhir, whether he communicated or not communicated with his players, right? And one thing which I definitely feel was wrong on Gambhir's part, which might have triggered this PR. I'm just linking this, is that when he went for just before the 5th test, right? Gambhir went into that press conference. He should have taken Rohit with him.
Absolutely,
and Rohit would have just told, like, I'm not feeling, I don't have my feet movement. I'm not in the best of forms. So for this test, I'm taking a rest and, getting somebody. And that would have you didn't need a PR. People would have appreciated
Rohit. Agree. Yeah.
And we were appreciating him for like, second, third test. It didn't make sense. Somewhere. And like, I'm not saying like, not all people are like, media savvy. And I'm not saying that Gambhir is on the right or wrong here. But whoever is a media manager in the BCCI and within the Indian team, they should have done it much better, or given that guidance of how to manage this. And what I hear from the other thing is, India, the entire Indian team, in the entire tour, that 5 test matches, like whatever, like 60 days or whatever they have been there, not even once they had a meal together. Like they went out together. The entire Indian team never had like a meal together. So there's something wrong in that team.
Yeah.
Right. And this PR thing is affecting basically, because what is happening inside, people are leaking those things, and through PRs and through, your, disciples on Twitter and here and there, things are like, oh, he's better than this. And they bring some stats out, or Rohit is better, Virat is better. And they're not looking at the Indian team as a whole. So I
Mhm.
hope this, whatever's happened, it was a blessing in disguise. This disaster came out
Yeah.
through screenshots and other thing. I hope this comes to a rest. And any
Mhm.
more PR promotions, it'll be subtle, but at least not on the face.
No, absolutely. And just on the team meals and stuff, right? Historically, I know we heard they hang out as a team and obviously grab dinners and stuff, especially when you on our way tour. But back then, I don't think there's families involved as much as it is now. And we're not against it, right? When you're traveling for months, it's good to have your wives, your girlfriends, your extended family around, which is great. But and also another piece I want to call out, it just because there'll always be the small group, right, who want to go have their own meal versus the other group. They want to it's two ways. Like someone who wants to stay in the hotel room, enjoy the meal, get some rest because there's enough already going on for them. In terms of the amount of social media around, cameras around. Everyone's got a nice fancy phone today. Every time they step out, they're on Instagram or whatever that reason is. So they want to probably just conceal themselves the hotel room. And then there's this other bunch who likes to go out always. And example is me and Amar. I always wanted to step out, and Amar always wants to order something home. Different personalities is what I'm trying to say.
No,
And
that's fine. What I'm trying to say is you're there for 7 to 8 weeks, right? 2 months. Not having one dinner with your entire team, even with your families together, right? There was something wrong. It has never happened. I'm not telling this
I mean,
is
it's
the first
good.
time which this is the first time I'm I've gone to different podcasts. I'm hearing them and through different cricket journalists.
Yeah.
They're saying that it has never happened that the entire team never had meal together.
Wow.
Maybe
It is
there are
ridiculous.
maybe there are no good restaurants in Australia, Indian ones.
Potentially, yes. Yeah. We faced this at one point.
That
And
could be one.
so yeah.
Yeah, but
but jokes,
something is wrong with the Indian team. Jokes apart.
Jokes apart.
Yeah.
I was listening to or watching one of the interviews of Robin Uthappa in one of the on YouTube. There's a channel, news channel, and or they have. So I was listening to that one, and what Uthappa was saying that just as a normal family, Indian cricket team or any team also has different characters, and whenever the senior players are there, they kind of pull the other players, other junior players towards them, and they have so they kind of take them on board on their side, and then groups start forming.
Yeah.
And it's like you stay with me, not with that person, and kind of that kind of thing. And then so what he's saying is basically there is like a segregation of the team of a 15-member squad. They will have like 1 or 2 seniors, and they will have their own groups. And I mean, on a lighter note is fine, but when things become serious, then this thing, then it's like polarization happens, and one group starts saying, but that's what I think, one group starts saying things about the other, and that's what this is. I think there's, and it's a job of the coach, of the manager, to bring them together, despite of all this, really. And I don't think Gautam Gambhir is doing that, or maybe he's trying, it's not happening. And and maybe that's why the meal hasn't happened, the dinner hasn't happened. They are amongst themselves, right? One group of players with one senior, the other group of players with other senior, and maybe it's not Gautam Gambhir's maybe ability to bring them together. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's a divided house.
Yeah.
Also, it could be the budgets. They're probably not getting enough money to go, afford a meal outside. You never know, right? The cost cuts everywhere. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's not speculate without. Yeah, let's not speculate without knowing what's
the entire
right?
cricket. They rule, and you're saying they don't have money. That's funny. But anyways, I hope this comes to a rest, and we have and the superstar culture needs to go away. You don't need that, because horses for courses, right? And that's what you need. Get the best players. And I think so. Just to let you know, after all this disaster, right? What I hear from the news, just to give an update on that only Bumrah will be allowed to pick which domestic matches or series it does not want to play. Rest everybody, the selectors and the management will decide. So no more rest for anybody based on, I don't want to rest and I don't. The selectors are
Oh,
going to
wow.
decide now who wants to play and who's
But
not going to play. Only Bumrah is going to get that
well,
because of,
on the
I don't
face of
think
it,
that's-
sounds brilliant. It's really good.
Yeah,
But then
absolutely.
again, like, you're creating another superstar, right?
Yeah.
no, it's Bumrah because of his injury concerns. So only Bumrah will get the rest which is needed because of his injury concerns. That's the only reason. It's not like Bumrah is like even Shami have not got that because he's just come back from injury. So Bumrah, they just want to pack him because of the 5 test series we have coming in UK, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why they want to save him. And like
He should
yeah,
be
so
preserved
just
anyway.
to let you know that I think so things are moving into the right direction. And what I'm telling you, like this thing, Amar, and like Dinesh, I don't see superstars coming up after this. You know why?
Yeah.
Because this generation, right? Say like the Rohit and Kohli generation was the generation we started with the IPL, yeah. So and they played international cricket, and everybody was fascinated with Now what's happened is like you have stars in IPL who are superstars by themselves. They might not play the Indian cricket, right?
Yeah.
But they are stars by themselves. So you won't get that and you see an IPL captain might not play for India, but he will captain the Indian captain itself.
Yeah.
So you might get that scenario as well. So it's changing. It's good for the you won't have like superstars. Oh, I'm like the superstar of Indian cricket. You will have multiple superstars, which basically nulls each other out. So
which sort of makes sense, right?
everybody is a superstar in the team.
What we're noticing even
So-
with the Indian film industry lately, right? It's all multi-stars lately. You no longer have that one.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the culture they're trying to bring in again, some sort of Bollywood drama back into cricket as well.
Bollywood
Because
Dinesh,
we know
Dinesh, we know it's not the culture that is bringing it. It's not that. It's about that they're not doing good job enough to pull crowd. That's why.
It's the market forces actually.
Yeah.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
market forces which is getting you there, right? So
Yeah. No, just quickly, right, on the point you made, I'm never against that superstar poster boy culture, right? It has its own benefits, especially for players who's done, exceptionally well. You get that recognition, and obviously there comes some revenue for them. They do some ads, and that's always there. But when you're on the field and when you're on a tour and when you're playing a series, all of that needs to go away. And this is something media has to manage as well. And the minute the series is done, when they have the break, and then they can go do whatever they want, so that's probably the line we have to draw. But unfortunately, I think again, I'm sure as a player or be it Rohit or Kohli or Pant, they don't want to do that either. But I think the timing and obviously the world we sort of living in right now, it kind of pushes them as well to try and always be involved and be out there for fans and audience, and obviously and this monetary value as well, right? So yeah.
So there's another thing to that, right? I'm not like you have your brand and you earn the money, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cricket, so why I'm trying to say is superstar culture is not because of earning money or anything or your fans following and whatever you're doing outside of cricket, it's fine. I'm talking within cricket, right? When you actually have that power within the thing, like Virat, for example, right? He had a lot of power when there was this churning between the Supreme Court when they told that you have to change and then you had I found some Mr. Vinod or somebody from the CAG guy who was the interim BCCI. He was trying to get all the things sorted out. Virat was very powerful, and what happened was a lot of cricketers never got an opportunity because he didn't like the team culture, or maybe he didn't like. So you see, there were one guy was the guy who scored a triple century, the Test guy, Karun something.
Karun
Nair, yeah.
Yeah, you see what happened to him.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, when you're that powerful, right? And when you rule, you just overrule selectors. Selectors see a lot of things which an Indian captain does not see, right? So you and if you see in this generation of cricketers, right?
Yeah.
Neither Kohli or neither Rohit had groomed, the youngsters like what Ganguly did. We all have seen that, or what when Rohit, say Dhoni left, they have left, the next stars. Just now, you don't have a captain, man. Who have you groomed as a captain? You see, when Dhoni left, he gave Kohli, and naturally Kohli did not groom because of and as of now, I'll just tell you a quick thing. You see the T20, this thing. Hardik Pandya was supposed to be the captain. God knows what happened with him because he's taken the Mumbai ship. And just coming back to what Amar was talking about, Hardik, so it gets interesting. He's gone somewhere. He's nowhere in the this thing. What has he done wrong? He did one of the best spells in the World Cup and got us back. One of the best all-rounders we have, right?
Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. And over the last every series, you have a different vice captain. Now this series, they put Akshar Patel as a vice captain, right? What's wrong with that guy? Maybe he does not have a PR thing. What I'm trying to say is Indian team and the Indian cricket, right? The way it's working has sidelined really good, talented cricketers.
Yeah.
Because somebody who's a superstar in that team does not like that person because he does not come and say, or he does not do the grouping things. Ashwin is a prime example, and he's the GOAT of Indian Test cricket. We've talked about him. He's better than any of ever in India, right? The amount of series is won for us and the amount of wickets. What's happened with him? He was sidelined, right? And we only talked about his this thing. Even white ball cricket, one of the best stats he had. He was sidelined, right? In white ball cricket because after the 2017 Champions Trophy, right? And then he never came back. He came back T20 way back, 5-6 years was. So I'm just telling you, nothing wrong with that guy. He did really well. So what I'm trying to say is somebody does not like you. They tell the selector says, okay, yeah, fine. Chuck are very talented cricketers, right? So Karun Nair is one of the prime examples. I don't know what happened to that guy, man. Triple century, only 2 persons have scored. Sehwag and him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just on the note, right? So Karun Nair, I don't know if you guys are following the Vijay Hazare Trophy, right? So he's played 7 innings and he scored 600. He only got out in one of the innings. So his average right now is 640 something. He scored a century every innings in the 6 or 7.
That's the reason. That's the reason I bought him back.
Yeah. So maybe that's his selling point now. And like you said, I hope he has a good PR behind him. And Karun Nair, if you're out there, you listening to this podcast, you need any help? We got 3 individuals here, who can a reasonably good job on this. So we're good at some of the social.
We can put out better posts. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're very good with the screenshots and stuff. We do that day in, day out.
Yeah, exactly.
We never make out if it's a copyright issue or anything. So, yeah. But it's what it is, right? Obviously, without dwelling too much into it right now, we just want to also the point you made, Punk, and the point you made, Amar. The reason for us having this podcast is let's put a full stop to this. Let's move on. Let's see how things unfold. Obviously, there's a big series coming up with England touring India. Followed by that, we have the Champions Trophy. And then we had the news earlier today that the IPL 2025 is starting in the 3rd week of March. So there's a lot of cricket coming up. Simultaneously, we have the SA20 going on, Big Bash, Women's Ashes that started last night. So there's a lot to focus on. But at least for Indian cricket, there's so much coming up for the men's team. So hopefully, everything on the PR is kind of put to rest and everyone sort of moves on. At least from a Kohli standpoint, looks like he clearly moved on. From what I'm noticing, he's visiting all this temples and Babas and stuff. So he's in a very in a good state, at least by the face of it. And I hope the same for Rohit as well. Maybe get some time spent with this little one and put all of this behind him. But sometimes I think personally, in my opinion, players might not have a lot of say in this because obviously they sign this deal and let the PR kind of handle things. And by the time they realize what's going on, it might be too late. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, to be just to say this, that we are talking about this PR thing gone wrong and everything. People are discussing and saying different things where it should not have been done or it's not needed. But one thing we all agree on that there was a time when Indian cricketers didn't have much money. and many cricketers retired early on, maybe because by choice, or maybe they were changed and their places taken up by someone else, and they were left with no money at all. So
Absolutely.
we are totally supporting this PR thing, because they are managing the talent. They're telling the players who are coming in, how to invest or how to manage money. They're getting them adverts, endorsements, and they're being they're helping them to get into different teams like club cricket and franchise cricket and all those things. So it's very important for them. I think we all agree on that it is a good thing. But in certain situations, when things should not go beyond, these should not take over the cricket. These should not take over the Indian cricket, or should not make one person above the other person, really. So that's what we are trying to say here. But yeah, we all agree PR is good for players, for their careers.
Yeah, features as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But not in this manner.
Yeah, no, you made a great point, right? Just on that, because players probably won't have the right guidance and stuff, and obviously they're already occupied with so much in the sport, they might not have time for everything else going around. And we've seen that with ex-cricketers. Me being one of those, no one ever guided me to save money, and I'm still kind of paying some of those debts from my college days. So yeah,
that's what the thing.
I wish I had a good PR, help me out back then. But yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
The way you performed, you should have millions by now.
Absolutely, I do have millions, but it's debt. I was asked to pay back, which I wasn't expecting. So, on that note, probably this is the end of the PR campaign. Hope our viewers enjoy this. Again, really quickly, just for everyone's benefit, this is just our opinions and what we've noticed. But yeah, it's not, the intention is not to offend any player or a team, and we sort of all move forward and kind of focus on upcoming. The only thing I want to call out, I'm really happy, and something pleasant to see on socials is when all of this happened, I've seen a couple of tweets which I wasn't expecting at all. One primarily actually was from Jesus. Jesus himself tweeted for a Rohit Sharma, which I thought it's really nice of him to think about his people, and Hitler as well. I've got a screenshot of Hitler's tweet. And then you have Jesus' tweet. So yeah,
I'm glad that Jesus
I've
was
seen all of that. It was so funny.
Trophy.
Absolutely.
A lot of people
yeah, it was good drama. It was good drama, especially.
It was a brilliant PR, which was one of the best disasters ever.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully they also learn from this, and you said, in the superstar culture, it can be out there, but when the sports kicks in, the sports kicks in, and look at me, I'm a celebrity on YouTube now, but my day job, I'm nobody, no one cares about me, so, life moves on, and I'm sure the same applies for Punky and Amar as well. So
no, talk about yourself, man.
Okay, sure, yeah. We leave it at
that. Everyone in my company knows me. We are just two people company, me and one other guy. We know each other.
Of course. I hope you both share lunches and stuff, and it's not you have your own lunch by yourself, and yeah. Well, you can't make a group with between the two of you, but
Yeah, we do, because we can't afford a PR agency,
so yeah, you just sit together and just.
Well, the wrong ones are going to be a PR man.
Yeah, I mean, we can offer that service, right? So maybe our first.
I think it's a good business. It's a good business.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, on that note, thank you everyone, and really appreciate your time today. Hopefully, our audience enjoyed this small episode on PR, and upcoming we'll start focusing on the England tour, and obviously we'll also look at Champions Trophy as the squads are being announced. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. See you.
Cheers. Bye.